So I'm a huge investor. For those of you who don't know, this year I flipped 6 homes on my own. How did I do that? Well, I figured out the numbers. I can now walk in a house, I can tell you exactly how much it's gonna cost to completely renovate it in probably 39 minutes within about $5,000 to $10,000 difference. And it comes from my operations manager on my team's husband. We have a full contracting team with him. We know down to $250 a square feet what the room costs, all of these things. You wanna get into the investing world, you better understand what a commercial loan looks like. What are the people that you need to know? I tell people all the time, if you want to become a flipper, investor, you want to buy rental properties, if you don't know who Ryan Foster is, that's the first step, because he's one of the biggest investors in town at traditional banks, super intelligent, and guess who small banks lend to? People they know, like, and trust. It's not about your credit score, it's not about how much houses you have, it's about do they believe in you, and that's how you build those relationships. So whatever niche you want to get into, for me, veterans, I don't do a good enough job, honestly. You can always get better. I am a big learner, and so right now I'm trying to push that I'm a veteran myself. And you know, as veterans, you feel like, okay, I don't want to like brag and boost, but honestly, that's what makes me so disciplined and such a good negotiator and who I am. So whatever your niche is, push on that. If you love farms, push on that. You know, in your situation, you have this massive database, push on that, right? You don't have to do anything except for tell them that you're an agent. And I think that whatever that may be, you know, Autumn can convert a first-time home buyer like nobody else. Autumn's patience, because guess what? Autumn didn't have a clue when she bought a home a year ago where she wanted to live, so she can understand and relate to them. We do this all the time. We'll have a buyer that's intelligence level might be a little bit higher at ours. Maybe it's like an investment or something. And we'll say, hey, listen, can you come with us to look at this property and tell us what you think of it? And they just want to hang out. Most of the time they do. And then guess what? When that A buyer calls, perfect example we're going to use, there's a house on the market right now. She calls Kendra and says, has this house been shown? Do you know we have a file that'll say, yes, the numbers and comps have already been ran on it. This is why it's a no for a flipper. This is why it's a yes for an investor that wants to keep it as a rental. And this is how many times it's been on the market and all. Are you keeping up with that? Because guess what? She didn't have to do any work. All she had to do was message in Valor Homes Team and say, hey, here's the address, showing it to an investor. Is it a go or no? And it was handed to her. Because the other thing you should not be doing is working harder. And when you're dealing with online leads, most of the time they all call over the same house, the same pending house. Fair, right? The same pending house. If you're dealing with online Facebook leads, most of the time they don't know. One thing we are very big on is buyer consultations. While I don't make them sign a buyer's representation agreement, that's just because at the end of the day, if you just walk into an open house and decide that you want to write, and it's not very smart, well, that's fine. Then you can deal with the mess that you've made, right? So we're okay with that. But at the same time, I tell you that we are very big on buyer consultations. The difference is we do them in the house the moment you meet us. We schedule a 30 to 45 minute showing, and we are doing that buyer consultation in an atmosphere where you feel comfortable. How many people want to go to an office? By the way, Tom Ferry coaching right now would be destroying me saying that I'm not making them come to my office. But I'm not, because you have to do what works for you. For me, if you text me and say, I need you to come to my office, I'm like, I barely got time to go to my office. I'm not coming to yours, right? No, but if you say, hey, you want to see that beautiful house down on Main Street? I'm like, what time can I get in? And then when I get there and I meet you, if you're as authentically yourself and you genuinely want to help me, I'm going to know that you genuinely want to help me. I promise you, there are so many agents that are in this industry that just don't care about the people. They care about the commission check. And when you stop caring about the money, when you care about the people, you will make so much money. And that's what we have found. I tell agents all the time, if you get somebody that's a nasty human being and they just, you know, think that you're just an object to open doors, fire them. But understand, if you get somebody who's struggling to buy a house and your commission is the reason they can't, find a creative way, because they are the bigger picture.